Good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday, April 9th, and we're here to do some jiu-jitsu.
Hi, everybody. We are in the relatively cold, empty ZenQuest space. I hope you guys are holding it together and trying to train a little bit at home. I hope you can hear us and see us. So we're going to do our best to provide some online jiu-jitsu stuff right now. And remember that you can do like half of this now, and then if you have to go eat or something, you can come back and do the rest later, or just replay the whole thing later. You know, we would encourage you to do that. But anyway, I think we're going to start today with a version of the dice game. And so, do we need to get a dry erase and write what we're going to do?
Oh, I think, let's just tell them at this point.
Fine.
I think, we forgot about that.
All right.
It's up to you.
We can do it. No,
okay.
hang on.
Is it going to come off the wall? Let's see.
Let's hope.
I don't think so. So what's going to happen is each number on the dice is going to represent a warm-up exercise. It may be a jiu-jitsu exercise. It could be crunches. We'll let you know. So we have 6, obviously. So I'm just going to look at my notes and make sure I get it straight. Number 1 will be back falls. So if we roll a 1, we'll do 5 back falls. Number 2 will be sprawls. Same thing. If we roll a number 2, then we're going to do 5 sprawls. Number 3 is crunches.
It doesn't come off the wall.
Yeah, I didn't think it would.
We got paint.
Number 3. Number 3 will be crunches, and we'll do 10 of those.
Crunches. Boom.
Number 4 will be the bridging exercise that we practiced, I think, last class we had, I think, on Saturday. So we'll do 5 of those. And
Still better, right?
number 5 will be jumping jacks. We'll do 10 of those. And number 6 will be something we call, let me see. So it's a plank sit-outs. So we'll do 10 of those. And we'll show you what each thing is before we do it. But
thanks to Tilo.
Yeah. So if anybody saw one of Tilo's first strength and conditioning videos that he posted, that was one of the things in that video. So
It's not that hard.
no,
It's kind of cool. It's fun.
we're going to set the timer for 6 minutes, and we're just going to roll the dice back and forth for 6 minutes and do whatever comes up on the dice.
All right. So
On the wall. I don't know if you can see the wall, but that's okay.
But you can put on your Hubble telescopes and check that out.
Or maybe.
But we'll tell you.
Yeah.
This is mostly for us.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started. So 4, which was bridging.
5 bridges.
All right. So get down on the floor, facing kind of diagonal, and up. Remember, going to each side. That's 1, 2.
I wish I wanted them more than this. More than this.
3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
See what Professor Mark gets.
By the time we're done, I'll be warmed up. All right. 4.
Bridging
What
again!
happens this way? Why?
It's supposed to be random.
Anyway. 1. Try to keep your hips up the whole time. 2. We're going to do 6 minutes of bridging, right? 3. 4. Sorry, not sorry. 5.
All right.
Yeesh.
See if I can get a different number.
Yeah, please.
6. The sit-outs. Okay. So you're going to be in plank position. Sit. and then the other side.
Yep.
All right, we're doing 5 of those, right?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. We forgot. Oh, yeah. Something easy. Come on. Really?
Bridging.
Bridging. Lots of bridging.
It'll be nice and warm.
Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeesh.
Okay.
No more 4s.
Don't jinx it. 3.
Hey,
Crunches.
crunch.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good. 3.
4 crunches.
I swear it's a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Let's see.
Interesting.
Number 2. Sprawls. So we're going to do 5 sprawls. All right, ready?
Make sure you have enough space.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's weird doing it without going backwards. Belt check. Drum roll. 5.
Jumping
Jumping
jacks.
jacks.
Yay.
Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Back falls.
Oh,
Awesome. All right. 1,
technical stand up, if you know it.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
All right, we got less than a minute to go. Drum roll. 1.
Back falls.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and single.
All right, let's see if we can get one more thing in.
Bridging. Oh my God,
Why did you do that?
I called it.
You jinxed it. All right.
Or it's the best thing ever.
Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
All right, you got some extra there. No problem. Let's do it a quick couple of deep breaths to reset. Ready? Breathe in. And out.
language.
Exactly. Okay. Let's
I just bowed.
prepare. Yeah. Let's all mash in together.
Yes.
We're gonna prepare. The next thing we're gonna do is, what you can do is, if you have an ottoman, or maybe if you have a heavy bag at home,
Or a big giant stuffed animal.
or a grappling dummy, or some human who can volunteer for you. Although you have to be careful if you do that.
This is a little better with a tool
Some
versus a
object.
human, but anyway,
Yeah.
you can do it. Just be careful.
Maybe you can do it with a chair. I don't know. But let's kind of demonstrate what it is going to be. Then we'll take a quick water break, and then we'll give you guys a chance maybe to set that up, and then we'll come back. So basically,
Maybe
I
angle
hope
it.
that's enough space.
I think.
What's that?
Okay. I think
You can move it if you need to. This way?
this way or like that.
Okay.
All right. You want to describe it?
Yeah. So we're gonna have. I guess you could even do this without anything. It's gonna be harder though,
Yeah.
because you'd have to break, post on your elbow and your hands and stuff. But if you have something like this, it's better. Obviously, let me try to get in the camera. So what you're gonna do is start in kind of like a scarf hold position on one side. Then bring your elbow over to the other side of the body. Then transition up towards the head, while keeping pressure on, all the way around, back step, and then land in the scarf hold position on the other side. Right, so the key thing is you want to move your elbow in, then put your weight on the grappling dummy, right, go through, past the head, and then back step. So you're basically going from one scarf hold to another.
You might have to occasionally adjust
Yeah.
up so you don't end up
Try not to migrate
to the
too
feet
far.
too much.
Exactly. So in a minute, we're going to set the clock and just do like a minute of that, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, and if there's more than one of you, I'm going to do a minute and Professor Mark's going to do a minute.
Yeah, probably because
So.
I need to work out. You know,
But,
we're all going a little stir
if
crazy.
there's 3 or 4 of you, maybe you divide the 2 minutes up, 30 seconds each or 45 seconds each. It's okay.
Or
Most important thing is,
maybe you have more than one pillow.
that you
grab.
can use. Yep.
So if you have a big couple of big pillows, or even couch cushions, maybe
Yeah.
that would work.
Yeah.
You can do that with your parents' permission, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Make sure.
Or your spouse's permission.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's do a quick water break, and then we'll come back and we'll do that.
All right.
All right. So Sensei-kan is going to assume the position, and hopefully you guys were able to put something in place where you can make this work. But just do the best you can.
And remember, doing it correctly is more important than doing it fast right now.
Right.
Learn how to do it correctly first.
The other thing is, if you're still scrambling to find something to do this on, you can finish doing that while Sensei-kan goes, and then you have another chance to do it when I go. All right. So let's get started. Are you ready, Sensei-kan?
Sure.
All right, good answer. Andre. I mean,
I
start.
understand.
Good to be mindful as you go through this. Try to keep your base, keep your weight on the object that you're working with. Right? If you were doing this for real, you want to keep your pressure on your partner. Right? Especially if you're defending yourself or something, or trying to restrain somebody, you would definitely want to, or if you're grappling, you want to keep your weight on the person and get them a lot of a chance to escape or make it easy. Unfortunately, in jiu-jitsu, a lot of
10 seconds.
it's about pressure. And 3, 2, 1, time. Right. I'll give you that. I don't know if I might have to move this a little bit this way.
That's fun.
Right? Trying to keep it interesting, everybody. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this.
All right.
Okay, I might want to just a little bit this way. All right, close enough. Whatever. All right. So let me get into position here. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Good work, everyone. Seconds. Keep up the good work. Isn't that fun?
Cool.
15 seconds, especially once you get the rhythm of it, it's just pretty cool.
Feel like a million years.
10 seconds. Nice job. All right, give me a high five. Professor Mark, that was awesome.
Wow.
Now I think we're nice and warm.
Yeah. How about it? As they say here in the Berkshire. So, I joke about this, but
Trying to grab his legs.
this thing only weighs 140 pounds. If you ever have to move a body, trust me, especially one heavier than that, it's very difficult.
Just don't get into situations like that. Move body, you know. I know maybe right now it's tempting, but no.
Yeah.
Put those thoughts right out of your head. Train.
There's your
Work with us.
discouragement.
It won't happen.
There's your discouragement tip. If you do kill somebody in the quarantine,
Oh my God, don't.
it'd
Kids
be
are watching.
extremely difficult to move the body. So don't. I'm joking, of course. So I think the next thing we're gonna do, it's very difficult at home, we think, to work on takedowns. Partly because most people don't have mats at home.
Or even a partner that's done this enough where they would be able to know the proper way to be a good partner. So
Or fall, you know, without being at risk.
Yeah.
So the thing, we're going to focus on self-defense more, escape techniques, you know, which can translate to grappling or
takedowns.
even competition, you know. It's funny because Damien Maya, a few years ago, he was showing us defense for something. I forget what it was, but basically I think it was like maybe a lapel grab or something like that. He went here and got overhooks, right? And then did a lateral drop and took the person down. And this is what he teaches for that situation. And so we're practicing, and he goes, yeah, I actually took down Chael Sonnen this way. In the UFC, they had a very famous fight. And if you watch, he got the overhooks on Chael, and he just did lateral drop, was beautiful. It wound up going right to a triangle after that. But he goes, usually the only time I practice that is like when I'm doing this, when I'm practicing this escape. And it just came out at that moment. So something to be said for the value of doing these drills. So the first thing we're going to do is what in the industry we call rear bear hug, right? So if I come here and grab Coach Connie over the arms, she's going to start to work her magic. So go ahead.
I'm going to drop into a good base, keep a good posture, and my hands go up I'm gonna reach over to one knee. And I can, if you have pants on, you can grip those. If not, just put your hand on the knee. Then I'm gonna take a big step around, staying in my base. And then from here, you know, if I felt strong enough, I could lift. But an even better thing for a smaller person, step a little bit diagonal with your back foot, go down on your knee and push with your body and your arm, the back of your tricep. The reason I want to grab the knee is I don't want to get kneed in the face.
And you want to prevent the person from being able to step and keep their balance, right? Mm-hmm. So look, over the arms.
Drop into my base.
It's going to be very hard when Professor Connie drops now. It's going to be very hard
Sink for me to right into the floor.
Pick her up.
I'm even putting my head right against his collarbone. Grip here, step around, okay? Then drop my knee back and diagonal and drive. And now I'm in side control.
Right? Or you could stand up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know a lot of, jiu-jitsu.
All right, neutralize the situation. All right, one more time. I get grabbed, I drop down, grip, step around, step back and push. And then stand up. Always face your attacker.
Don't turn your back. So like right now, if you're learning this or if you're just practicing, it's a very good idea to just be mindful of the technical aspects of what you're doing. You don't have to go fast. It's not about trying to hurt anybody. Just learn the technique, the strategy, and the muscle memory.
Yeah, if you don't have enough space for the person to fall, just do all of the steps up to that point.
Right.
Right? And then stop.
You don't need to drop to your knee.
Yeah, it's important not to bump into any coffee tables or anything.
Yeah. We don't want any concussions at home. 90% of it is the setup, and then when you drop your weight at the end, that's sort of the final step. So we'll just give you a second. If you have questions or something, you can write questions in the comments or just say hello or share it with somebody else. Mm-hmm. But any questions or anything, just let us know. We'll be happy to answer the best we can. Even if it's something we've never seen. Oh, if you have other situations you want to know how to escape, usually we have an answer. Even if we don't, it might be a fun project for us, in these quarantine days to research that whole thing. But anyway, so the other thing is you can go back and practice more later, right? If you have access to this. So I think the next thing we're going to do is the knee bar, right? Knee bar defense. So I think this works for whether it's over the arms or under the arms. I think. Well, let's do over the arms. I mean under the arm. Right?
Yeah. I think sometimes if you go over it, you can slide up into my neck.
Maybe step a little bit forward. Right up on my head. Good. Okay.
All right. So again, I'm going to get into my base, put my hands up so that the person can't pick me up or drag me away easily. And then for this one, I'm going to keep my back as straight as possible, put my hands on the floor for a moment. If I don't put my hands on the floor, he can push me forward and I'm going to do a face plant.
Smash your face.
So I don't want that to happen. And a lot of times, they may have one foot forward, so this allows me to put my feet straddle his foot. So one foot's on one side, one's on the other. Again, if there are pants to grip, I'm going to grip them. If not, I can grab behind the ankle, and I'm going to start walking backwards and pull the leg up. And then I could finish like Professor Mark with a knee bar, or step over and face the person.
Right.
Until I can walk away safely.
If you haven't done this before, and you don't know what a knee bar is, don't do it.
Don't pull on the person's leg.
Yeah, just, again,
let them bend their leg.
We don't want anybody's knee getting torqued up right now. So.
Drop down, right? Put my hands on the floor.
I'm already a little off balance now.
Yes, because I'm pushing my hips into his leg. Grip the leg, walk backwards and pull up. Step over and go here.
Those of you who have more experience, you can, put a little knee bar pressure. All right.
Last time. Drop down. Here, just stabilize so I don't get face planted. Grip. And
boom. Classic. Classic Jiu-jitsu self-defense escape. All right. Notes or comments. One thing that can happen when you do this is if the person is really stubborn, they'll hang on. And so what happens is, don't do this right now, but what happens is if you're in Professor Connie's position, you want to keep your balance and basically let your hips smash down on the person if they hang on.
Yeah,
and you're still going to have the knee bar if you do it right.
Even more so, really. That's why we don't really want you to resist if you're in Professor Mark's position, because it's real easy for that to happen, the leg to lock out. Right, and so unfortunately, when you're trying to escape, or if you're grappling and trying to get position or keep position, a lot of what we do is kind of like learning to use your weight and your leverage and your pressure to make the other person uncomfortable. And so this is a good example. Like if I'm holding on for dear life, Sensei Connie pulls my leg out and I pull her down, she should do her best to keep her head up and let her weight come crashing down on me. And then if you know how to do the knee bar, it's kind of an easy submission from there. All right, so I think the last one we're going to do is the Kimura. Correct. So now what I want to do is same thing. I start out the same way with all these. I want to get into a good base. So if the person's intention is to carry me off, they can't so easily. So now I'm going to grip the top arm, right? Usually the person has one arm that's on top, right? Grip the top one and hang on with two hands. And I'm going to start to push my back and let my hips go forward to help break the grip. And then from there, the arm that's closest to his shoulder is going to go around his tricep, grab my own wrist. I have his wrist with the other arm, the other hand. And I'm going to step back and go here. And then very slowly finish. So the last part of that, where I start to step around, I'm going to step around slow. If I go too fast, I'm going to hurt my partner, and I don't want that to happen.
If you're by yourself, you can just kind of do the ghost version of it, and do the technical parts, try to memorize that. Yeah. If you have a partner, if you're in my position, again, don't resist. Don't make it impossible, because you're just going to, nobody's going to learn anything, and potentially somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah. Teaching your body how to do the movements is very important. So don't think you can't do this if you don't have a partner. It's really important to teach your body how to move into these positions. So it's valuable. It's kind of like any type of art or science. You don't take a surgeon and throw him into surgery, on the beginning of his training. You do all this training, practice, learning, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to training, right? So goes to surgery. Sorry. So don't put the surgery first. Learn the moves. Yeah. The other thing is, like, when you could do this, any of these ones where it's over the arms, if you can free your arms, like this, now your arms are free. It's actually better usually, because it's harder for me to try to come up and choke or something at that point, so you can try that as well. All right. So as far as what my legs do as well, sometimes they may stay square, but if you can get one foot slightly in front, it's probably going to be even easier to use this action here. Wrap around, grab my own wrist, keep a hold of his wrist, and come around and finish. I don't know if you want to do it from the side so we can see the Kimura. So I start out, everything's the same to start with. I get into a good base, make sure the person can't just carry me off. Then I'm going to put two hands on the top arm to start to break the grip. Then I'm going to push my hips out and push my back into him. Wrap the arm that's closest to his shoulder around his tricep. Grab the wrist, then grab my own wrist. Walk around, hold this tight, and then my arm is against his arm. And I can get, the closer I am, the harder it's going to be for him to move away. Right. And then I slowly... Again, like if the person's trying to go for the submission, you're in my position, don't try to wait and see how long you can hang out and how much pain you can take, because you're going to wind up with problems. The end of that is I isolate the upper arm and slowly raise the wrist part of my frame. Right. Now, if, like always, if that was happening in real time, Sensei Connie would do it much faster and harder. if I instinctively sabotage it in the process, she would switch to something else.
Yeah.
Or do a more severe version of, there's other follow-ups to this that are pretty severe. But we're just doing sort of the basic thing right now.
Remember, we say this all the time. When we're drilling things, we're drilling that specific isolated thing. And then the more you learn, the more you can chain things together. So,
the more you learn.
So, the bottom line is, yes, we drill one thing. We drill one thing, and then we add more things so that you can, if you needed to, you can go from one thing to another.
Right.
Okay.
And eventually, it's an accumulation of strategies that you can reach into your toolbox quickly and switch between one and another and things like that. So.
Like Professor Mark said in the beginning, Professor Damien used this in a UFC match without thinking, because he had practiced it over and over again for self-defense purposes.
Right.
But it lent itself to something that he came against in the cage. So it's pretty cool how these things translate.
Right. He wound up in the position, and immediately he recalled what to do at that moment, and that's kind of how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. So hopefully you've had enough time to kind of repeat that while we were gabbing on and on.
Alrighty.
Well, even the illusion of having someone else to talk to is like exciting. So, we just can't help ourselves.
It's better than talking to yourself. Although
I don't know.
If you only have yourself, then do what you got to do.
They say people who talk to themselves is a sign of genius. So I don't know. We'll see.
That explains a lot.
Yes.
All right. So let me just do a quick camera check, and then we'll make sure that we're gonna do some more groundwork now.
Yes.
We're gonna focus on a few guard passes. We just want to make sure the camera's in a place where.
If you need a sip of water, if you need a sip of water, this is a good time to get it. Do you want me to kneel so you can check?
It's probably not necessary.
Okay, then I'm going to get a drink of water.
All right, cool. Am I doing the first one? Now, again, if you don't have a partner right now, you can just do the ghost version of it. Just work, try to do it as best you can by yourself. And then maybe go back later, replay the video if you can get someone, like a family member or this type of thing, to practice it on someone. So one of the cool things about this right now is that it's available for replay, and we're going to leave this remote support group going for enrolled students once this
it's just an additional thing you're getting for your memberships, so
right. So
it's not going to go away.
We'll try to periodically post things on here, short videos and things to support what we're doing, maybe in the lesson plans from time to time.
Especially, part of it is we just want to thank all of you again. I know it's like a broken record. We just want to thank all of you who continue to support us. It means a lot.
Right. All right, cool. So we're going to start with something that's in the industry, an industry standard called the Stack Pass. And this is sort of the basic version, but it comes up a lot when you're trained or when you're grappling, and so you can apply it in different situations. But so what we're going to do is we'll start with our base posture and hands up guard, basically like this. I don't want to have my head forward like this because that's kind of going to start to control my posture and make everything difficult for me. I keep my head up. I have a good base with my legs. I don't want to fall over like a dead fish, and I keep my hands off the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grip around the bicep area of the one arm, right? Doesn't matter what side, you can do either side. So I'm going to grip here, and then I close my elbow. I'm going to touch my elbow to my thigh, my leg, right here, right? And now I'm going to shift my weight towards the leg on that side and bring my other foot up like this. You see? Look, let's pivot a little bit this way. Now I turn my body sideways. I'm going to make a knife hand with my hand and shove it inside of the person's leg and put my hand on the floor. I open my elbow like this. I can walk my hands my fingers on the floor. Now I'm going to grip into the collar. I put my thumb into the collar like this. As soon as I'm there, I'm going to do a shot step forward. I'm going to switch my knees. The knee that's up goes down, and the knee that's down goes up. At this point, I'm going to let go of the bicep and hook here like this. Now I'm going to start to walk my leg up toward the head, raise my head, and then let the leg pass, and now I can finish by securing side control. Okay?
Notice Professor Marsh kept his hips in and his posture up.
Right. Try to keep your hips down close to the floor.
And he used his hips to stack me.
All right. So hopefully we're still on camera. All right. So once again, look. Grab the arm and close the elbow. So I'm shutting down the arm and leg on this side. And it's very important to control the leg on this side while I work on this side to pass. Now I put the leg up, shove the hand inside here, open the elbow, grip, thumb goes into the collar. Right? Now I do a shot step, and I want to deliberately, Professor Connie's hips will go up when I do this. Look. Now I cradle. The arm goes here. I'm going to walk to the side and raise my head. And now I lock down my side control. All right, once again, from this angle. Look. Boom. 2, 3. If the person holds their feet together here,
Someone with long legs might be able to.
I can crawl my hand forward and then open my elbow quickly. Thumb goes in the collar. Switch your legs. Cradle. Inch your way up toward the head. Let the leg pass. Now I get my side control. Okay? So remember, if you have questions, you can put them in the comments. All right?
Are we going to have them go?
Yeah,
back and
maybe
forth?
just give a minute for practice. You know, even like we said, even if you're by yourself, you can try to duplicate that on your own. The top part, not the bottom part. What's that? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Believe it or not, we love jiu-jitsu, so since Connie's like, I want to get my reps in. Nice. Nice. So one of the most important things about this is you need to control not this leg, but that leg. Because if you don't, you're susceptible to being submitted. One more. Yeah. So right here, if you keep this elbow close to your thigh, it shuts this leg down. If the person lets this leg loose, look, right? That wasn't a great example, but you see what I mean. Okay, good. Oh, man. Caralho. Whoops.
Okay. So the next one we're going to revisit is the double underpass that we did back on Saturday, where if you neglect to stay tight and actually stack the person a little bit, you saw the attacks that the person from the bottom was able to do. So we're just going to tighten it up a little when we show you right now.
Right. I'm going to show you how to minimize your odds of being submitted.
So if you remember, started out same thing, posture, base, hands in the hips or abdomen. And what you need to do here is I'm going to start to walk, create a little bit of space, and push my back into their legs to break the legs apart. At this point, I'm going to take both my hands, get underneath and get into that crease where the leg and hip comes together and close my elbows and then push forward. Here, so one of the things that can minimize the person being able to get inside your arms is keeping tight, right? I'm closing, I'm bringing my elbows together towards each other. Then I walk to one side, bring my hip around, and come to position.
Let's go this way.
Okay. So, again, I can control the hips with my palms and start to walk my base back till I feel hit the legs, the ankles come apart. I'm going to take both my hands, dive underneath, and get my gable grip and pinch his legs together, and then come forward, sprawl out a little, and keep my arms tight together. And then start to pinch and walk my hip to the side, walk around, and then when I get in position, I can let go of the legs. One more time?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Sensei Mark's going to add something.
I am in the middle.
Yep. Here.
So right here is the critical moment where if Sensei Connie isn't careful, I can go for this, right? Like we did last week, I think it was. So you need to do that part quickly. And immediately gable grip your hands together and close your elbows, right? Boom. Now she didn't give me hardly any chance to counter that. Okay.
And then here, just keep your grips tight and stay connected to the person's legs. Come up on your toes or the balls of your feet. Stack a little. Come around.
Boom.
Okay.
All right. Questions in the comments, right?
And obviously, we're going to review those later.
Also, you can send your own videos, message us with your own videos of if you're practicing this at home. We'll take a look at it and give you some feedback or maybe give you the okay. But we are, especially for this remote support group thing we've created, please feel free to send videos of your training, and we'd be happy to support you that way. Oh yeah, I'll do a couple of reps. So you can grab the belt, you can grab the pants here. Look, 2, boom. On the balls of your feet. Twist.
Better if you breathe out. Don't hold your breath if you're on the bottom.
This is why we do crunches, right? Alrighty.
All right.
What do we got now?
I think you're going to do a knee slide pass, and then we still should have time for one more after that.
Yeah, I think we'll do the simpler version of knee slide. So, in this case, what I'm going to do is, we're working all of these from closed guard, but you could do them from open guard, because we're showing you how how to break the closed guard open, which is open guard then.
And,
But-
you know, Professor Mark's alluding to gi grips, but if there's no gi, you just put your hands, you know, to control the hips, so
Right.
that's okay too.
That's right. So if I mean, probably some of you at home don't have your gi right now, or anyway. So, or if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't get back to sleep, hey, turn the video on and you can practice in your pajamas. Anyway, so, but if we have a gi, we can grip the pants right here and kind of put your palms on the hip bones. Now I walk back to break the feet apart, but this time I'm gonna go here, okay? And I wanna, right away, I try to create a situation where Sensei can't, like, you know, jump her hips up or put her legs right. Like, let's say if I'm careless, she could go here or something, you know what I mean? So I don't want that. I'm gonna block that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this knee on the other side of her leg, alongside of her hip, like this. And I bring my head down, close now. Before now, I want to keep my head up, but at this point I can put my head down. This hand is going to go under the neck, and I can grab the shoulder or grip like this. Now, I'm going to do the back step that we practiced in the beginning on our couch cushion. Look, right? Now, as I do that, I'm going to keep this foot stays on the leg just to run interference on my partner's ability to move. And now I switch my legs and come up and go to side again. Okay? So, once again. So look. Are you saying I'm fat? I mean, I have been snacking more, but anyway, look. Break the grips, and now, look. This is a position that we do forward rolls from and stuff. So anybody who ever complains about doing the basics,
No one's gonna complain.
no
again.
one's gonna complain. So look, I drop here. Boom. I can also cradle this leg just to add some more control. And now I back step. Look. Okay, now I let go of the leg. I come up. Don't leave your arm here. Once you're here, take the arm out and secure your grips. All right. Once again. So this is the things we're covering in these videos. For the most part, are like, you know, your high probability of success moves.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, moves that you can rely on. You know, it doesn't. I mean, once you learn them, you can use them all of the time. It's gonna up your game if you get good at them. They come up in a zillion different situations. So you know, rather than just do some crazy, you know, a bunch of stuff that is impossible to learn at home. It's not going to help anybody. So look, 1, 2, right? And I go here. Boom. Cradle. Look at my hook. Here. Okay? Back step. Scissor your legs. And come up. Okay? Want to rip it?
All right, practice a little bit.
Knees aligned. Oh.
My secret weapon. My cousin it hair. Yeah, that was a fun post.
It was. Great.
Right. I think we'll do one more.
Are we?
Yes.
What time is it? Oh, we got time.
Yeah.
No problem. All right.
My favorite.
So, okay.
So, we often refer to this as the twist pass. So what I want to do first is gather up both, and if I didn't have the gi, I'd put my palm kind of in the sternum here, or solar plexus. But I want to gather up the collars and make a grip. You can, have your palm down, sideways, but the most important thing is you don't want to have a situation where you can get wrist locked. Okay, so I'm here. Then the opposite hand's gonna grip the gi pants at the hip. On the collar side, I'm gonna step up and bring my knee close to my elbow. And then I'm gonna step the other leg up and turn sideways. And notice I didn't put my feet on either side of his hip. One went far, stepped back. Then I'm here, and now we're back to knee slide, right? I trap the leg, go under the head, either grip the gi pants or go underneath, step. Okay. So basically it's another way to pass, get the legs apart. Put pressure in the hips. I'm here, got my grip here, grip in the hip, step up on the collar side, and trap the leg over here.
Notice how Sensei Connie raises this leg here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm up on the ball of my foot. Then from here, I'm gonna pivot, okay, and keep my posture, but also keep like a straddle or squat stance. Use this elbow to slip that the rest of the way off. Trap the leg. Control the head. Control the leg. Step. Keep this hook till I'm all done. And go to side.
Right. So the reason why you raise the second leg that way is because if the person's very stubborn and they're holding their feet together really strong, that action will usually break the feet apart. Okay? Even if it doesn't, you can go to that position and then put your hand on, keep this hand here, and basically you can start jumping up and down, pushing down with both hands to push the hips down and break the feet apart.
Another thing that's helpful is this leg right here. It's going to push into his leg and hip, right? So I go here, and then I use this as well, which can be uncomfortable. And then I go here, trap, here and here. Pressure, it's always good.
Yep.
Keep the pressure.
Exactly.
All right, so practice that a little bit, and then that'll be that, right?
I think so.
Okay.
So,
practice.
yes, of course. Even if I
Be careful what I ask for.
Even if I didn't want to, I would have to at that point. Okay. So we gather up the collars, grab the hip, and now 1, 2. Again, we can cradle, right? Back step, come up, boom. Let me do my weak side. Okay, so if you only practice that until the time when the doors open here again and you can come in and we can all be in Jiu-jitsu heaven again. If you only practice that every day and you get really good at that, trust me, your game's going to be like much better. Anything to add? What?
Did you want to stretch a little?
No, I think they should stretch on their own today.
Make sure you stretch. It's always good to stretch.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is, if you know other people that, you know, are keeping their enrollment going here and they aren't on this support group thing we've created, you know, share it with them and
find a way to get the word to them, yeah, and have them message us. Even.
Or they can contact us and we'll help them, you know, get that going, you know.
And I know what I want to say.
Go ahead.
By the way, for those of you who didn't already know, Levi got his casts off, and he's starting to do weight-bearing exercises. So way to go, Levi! We're proud of you. Keep it up, buddy. See you in no time. So we're very excited.
Yeah, I mean.
And happy that he's making great progress.
Awesome. I hope maybe you're able to do some of this now. I hope, or soon. You know.
Anyway, I couldn't contain myself.
No, I'm glad you
had to share.
remembered that. You know, hello to everybody out there.
Yeah.
So don't forget you can follow us on Instagram. There's a ZenQuest Instagram account. There's a Sensei Connie has one. I have one. There's I don't know. You can pick your favorite there or whatever.
Follow them all. There's always lots of stuff that's interesting and unique to each of those things.
Of course, Facebook. We've been trying to put videos up on our YouTube channel. You know, there's a bunch of stuff there. We're gonna keep trying to add. Even though you know we're not running usual classes right now.
Or in-person classes.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and so our time is getting soaked up, and but we're doing the best we can. Yeah. You know we're doing some things to make, you know, when you come back going forward in the future, make the best space and facility that you can have, all of us, you know, so that's soaking up some time as well. What else?
Just stay strong, follow the guidelines so that we can get back in here sooner rather than later. I know we're all itching to get back in here, so the best way to do that is to just do your social distancing, stay home as much as possible if you can, and, you know, follow the guidelines. There is an end to this, and the more we do all of those things, the quicker we'll see that end, and we're all looking forward to that time. So in the meantime, use the videos, do your own training at home, get outside. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I hope you all got a chance to go outside. You know, do that as much as possible. Fresh air is good for the soul. So, you know, don't just stay cooped up if you don't have to in terms of still following the rules, but getting some fresh air and things like that. So we think of you all every day and wish you well.
This is a really, really, really important time to keep a warrior mentality in this situation. You want to be mindful of what you're doing. You want to be aware, but you want to stay calm. Always stay calm. And the warrior adapts to whatever situation they're given, and they don't get upset. They don't have a tantrum. They don't melt down. They don't, you know. Instead, you look at ways to adapt to what's happening and make the best of your situation.
But don't be too hard on yourself if you feel like, you know, you melt down a little bit, because that, you know, so part of it being the warrior is acknowledging those things too, right?
Of course.
Sensei Mark?
Yes. Well, it's the awareness thing, right?
Yeah,
so
just keep yourself,
mostly,
don't be too hard on yourself too.
Mostly what the Japanese call Fudoshin, which means stay calm and stable and just work your way through the situation and make the best of it. You know, enjoy the time you have right now. I know it sounds weird, but you know, spend time with your kids and your siblings and your parents and your animals and all of that. You know, study, brush up on your skills and different things. Learn a new language. You know, make the best of it. Right.
Okay. I think that's it for today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again Saturday for training, if not before then. All right.
Virtual hugs. All right. Thanks, guys.